This is day 600 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming Shir the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi or more, please contact me directly. Be very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Siman Shin Nun Hey, Sivav through your base. And we're talking about the Gustra Pneumayim, the hole or the box to which one fills water on, one may fill water or dump water on Shabbos. But we can ask about this entire halacha. Great question. And we say the water directly below the opening is a shus yachin. They're not distinct waters. They're connected to the waters which are beyond the gustra. Same karmelis, and they're all which are karmelis. And they can mix up with each other. Without any distinction between them. So the water which is underneath the hole are paruts, they're open completely to a karmelis. The water which is at that moment beyond the gzustra. And if it's an area is completely open to a place which is forbidden, that is considered to be forbid carrying. Like if you have an outside air which just doesn't have a source of Pesach, it's parts milul makom also low. It's no good. But Shuba said the gambu miyakul shekil chol mamayin. The evident, a clear answer. How clear this was going to be the answer. There's also one leniency is a chomer makeup by water. Livli lachush l'tarbu. Some are not concerned with they're getting mixed up. The law of second mechitza son and not being concerned with how the walls can or cannot divide them up. But it's sufficient that we say that the walls consider to be going down, and so the walls are going all the way down to the bottom of the sea. And it seems to be the reason is interesting story. He says, listen, the reason I'm making all this is because even if you're going to make an absolute wall, a metal wall, all the way down to the bottom of the water, into the seabed, it's not possible for water, that water's not going to penetrate underneath it. You can't make a hermetically sealed wall in the water. According to this, you can't make a distinction at all between waters that they should not get mixed with each other. Okay, so therefore they say, you know what, we can't make a hermetically sealed wall in any event, which is going to not allow the water to slosh back and forth. Okay, actually, so okay, so it will suffice with the mechitza of 10 fachim, no matter where it is in relation to the water. The brackets here, by intensive even to the base, your masachocha, but so shishni, but the sub the even so break up. This is clear, and can also mechitza out of side fachim, matam in a mic, bishamai tzafin al gaba, chule, ayin shemolekes al mishnah. The Tosefta seems to say that you can also make a mechitza in the water itself, as this argument on Mishnah. But we're bringing it down here in order to note that we're not concerned with the mixture of waters. So you said, that's the fundamental principle in all the halachas of the walls in water. Zayin. And for people who are traveling with ships, there's even another leniency. Because the boat is a shusayachim. It's 10 by 4 by 4. Vayaman are karmelis, and the sea and the river are karmelis. You know, Malo Asos Mechitza, and if we tell them to make a wall like a gzustra, I mean, he knows. A passenger can't make such a thing. Maybe the captain can, but a passenger, the Jewish passenger in the non-Jewish cruise liner, says, can't do whatever you do at home. All you have to do is make a place which is 4. You put on a plank which is 4 by 4. And you make a hole malay derech and you fill up through there. You don't say you need to have mechitzos. I'm in a kufat stadim. It's as if the sides are bent. The good aches mechitzta, and then those walls are as if the walls go all the way down. Look at the sides of the walls. If they are, instead of being horizontal, they become vertical, and they are a wall for the hole. And we also guraches. He shouldn't. Person shouldn't draw water when he's in the boat. Made a place 4x4. Yotzim which extends from the boat on the face over the sea. Rabbeinu b'seis of hosi b'lashon kuf v'gud. B'seis of add languages kuf v'gud. In other words, look at the flat beam and look at it as if it's bent. So we make a wall, and then look at it as if it goes all the way down to the water. Okay, so he was like the English is bediktuk. The Arukh HaShulchan says that he doesn't. This language of kuf v'gud is not precise. The Mishnah Berurah seems to hold it was precise. Okay, why does the Arukh HaShulchan say it's not precise? Kuf v'gud. Hare bohinim shadafti agdola baruch v'rochav ad shidu real kuvul ad stradim asar tvachim l'chitzos. So this actually is the case of down in Eruvin, where in order to say this halacha kufagud, you have to have enough. The whole itself be 4x4, and then have 10 tvachim of additional plank on each side, or at least on 3 sides, so that we could say kuf that 10 tvachim upwards. And therefore it would be a mechitza of 10. So 4x4 would never be nowhere near enough, right? We should have to require 10 fachim of extensions plank, the mechitzos, at 4 walls, arba v'shabbat amsa. Tzilchios chav dal tefachim. This plank would have to end up being 24 by 24 tefachim, which is pretty big. Chav tefachim l'shnei tzadim li'an kuf 20 tefachim for both sides, 10 tefachim one, 10 tefachim the other, in order to say kuf, arba amsa, and 4 in the middle. That's can you say Eruvin Sham, and there is such a case in Eruvin there. Ba'ach the Gzustra Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia. The Poli Gusvil laid low by in Mechitzas Elmian Kufagud. There the Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia says that you don't need to have walls like we had the box-like structure which we discussed previously, but rather you can get away with a Kufagud situation, plank, which we look at as if it's the sides are facing facing upwards. The Omer says Gzustra shesh ba arba amos. If he has a Gzustra which is 4x4 amos, which is 24 tefachim is 4 amos. Choki badal, you can make a hole of it in 4x4 tefachim. Umala and fill it up with water. I fill the water through there. Ayin sham. The arba amos same chav dal tefachim. 4 amos is 24 tefachim. It kind of limits ragdav shel arba tefachim. Yet here, all we require is a plank of 4x4 tefachim. And the truth is, none of the poskim who mentioned kuf at all. To bend, that we have to look at the walls are bent. They should kill chacham and say chacham are makel in this. As I said, that language of kuf is not specific and not precise. Tess. Rambam. That's the sheet of the Rambam. But he goes in a boat. He has to make a wall, a hole, a board which is 4x4. And surrounded with walls. But I said, but neck and make a hole in it, and fill up the water through there. That's like Rashi Taisus. Elisha Rashi Lutzich Mechitzas. Rashi didn't require Mechitzas which are fully 10. Zelshon Rashi. Sham, this language. Rashi. Moka Marba Chalal Arba. You need an open space of 4. Moka Mechitzas Kitanos. Surrounded by small walls. Mechitza Tluya B'Intan Teres Mayim. That's enough because a dangling Mechitza is okay in the water. Akal Shono. Muchach Milashono. It's clear from his Lashon. The Daim Mechitzas Kitanos. Sherak Zecher Shem Mechitzos. Only need to have a commemoration of Mechitzos. Glosha has that cause of Shem Aram Shem Agom, Vizel Shono. Ron writes the name of absolutely Rav Haigon. The Hai Mokam Arba Hainu Shechoki Mosa Soviv Hacheke Ke'ein Mechitza. This place of 4 means that you make you carve around the hole something which is like a wall. Kimin Sal Shnaflu the Chasushul. It's like an upside down basket. It's like not upside down. It's like a basket which has a hole in the middle. You fill up water through that hole. I mean, a good aches behind the mechitzos, and we could say good aches. It's as if the mechitzos go all the way down. These walls afagav the low haviyasah, even though they're not 10 fachim high. But saying about it is they argue. Because should tzarech mechitzos asara. I need to have walls of 10. Can't have a rosham. Also being the rosh. So that's a tour, and it's also being a tour. Upela Rabbi saying about the Shlomo cloudy Yoselu. It's astonishing that the author of Shlomo did not bring these opinions. Then he, this Zel Milsa the Rabbanon, okay, Milsa the Rabbanon, come never came to Rov Rabbi Yisraelu, Chokim al Rambam. Because most of our rabbis arguing the Rambam more machmir, having a Misa Kavasayu, you should pass on to them. Uchla Pachis, Levi died them, at least bring their opinion. The Tzarchil. Okay, Yud. Because who in Masfina Molechus Momek, Ashlusham Yamayim, Rosh Dovin, Asratzvach. It's only if the ship in its displacement goes below 10 tefachim from the seabed. The Ava Carmelus. That because then it's an airspace. No, I said that wrong. Calls the Masfina Leches of Omek Ad Shaloni Sham Yamayim Ad Rosh Dovin Asratzvach. That there isn't from the surface of the water until the top of the wall of the boat, 10 tefachim. Obviously, a big boat's going to be much more than 10 tefachim, but it has to be that not more than 10 tefachim. To have a carmelus, because then the whole airspace is carmelus, because everything is on 10 tefachim. But if there is 10 tefachim of airspace between the boat's railing where you're standing and the sea underneath, so then the bucket is going to be tossed above 10 tefachim over the carmelus, and therefore it's going actually from the Rosh Hashanah to the Makam Ptur to the carmelus. Not that it was the carmelus. That would be true if the railing was less than the wall of the boat was less than 10 tefachim high. It's only 10 tefachim high, so but per force, this bucket is going through a carmelus. Because he already learned that the airspace cameras does not go higher than 10 tefachim. So, because theoretically speaking, there shouldn't be any fixing required in this case. Because it's going from Shusiyachid to the Carmelus, or vice versa, through Makam Ptur. We learned before that even a Makam Ptur, the Rabbani can't carry from Shus Yachid to Shus Rabbi via Makam Ptur. Sorry. Certainly we said both, and you can't bring water from the sea. Shu Carmelis, which is the Carmelis, and you're going through Makam Ptur in the middle. What's the ziz, therefore? That ziz is that plank. Ziz osela heker ba'alma. Makes a heker. The things are different here. That's a special leniency. And through that they allowed him to fill up water from the sea into the boat through the Makam Ptur. I feel shalom kol mazis, even doing it not where the plank is located. They kill b'zeh and they have to be lenient this because it's a difficult situation. Shari Eino B'Beis is not at home to do as he pleases. There should be a lot of reasons the name Magen Avraham writes the Biur argues on this and holds that only according to those who are matir. Shimon Vav to switch. It's mutter aydezis. To switch. Oh yeah. So the only mutter according to those who allow you to switch from a Mishus Yachid via Carmelis to Mishus via Makam Ptur to Carmelis, or vice versa, that you're allowed to do this. But if you're according to those whole, you're now out to Machlif, or HaShulchan's heker of the ziz is insufficient. It would not be allowed to take water from the sea above 10 tefachim and back into the boat because of the prohibition of being machlif from the Carmelis to the Rosh Hashanah via the Makam Ptur. Okay, but the Oziz makes it okay. Because the Motzi Ziz kosher was about nekev, But he says, right, to put out a plank of any dimensions and make a hole in it, and you fill it through there, Akal Sham. You see, they complain about the Beis Yosef. The Boro Shemutu Shabachol Tzfina. It's clear you're allowed to. It's not just through that hole, but once you have that ziz, then you can draw water on any side of the boat. When there's the Taz, the Mali Avra, Mali Rabbah, and the Tosef Shabbos. A few memali I'd leave also there. I'd even fill the bucket and take it right up over the wall. So it's as if it is resting in a makam tur on the way. They'll have to go more, right? That's still completely permissible. Nevertheless, hecker is he's being. You need to have that hecker of the plank. It says back as they'll come on this Rashi. Yurav, Vashofkin, sewage. You can pour directly on the walls of the boat, outside the boat. They can go down to the sea. Because he's tossing it on the side of the boat. That's okay. Which goes down into the sea. That's kochel. And we know the kochel karmelis lo gozer. They were not goes there. They did not forbid his koch in a karmelis. And for the same reason, he goes to throw bones and peels on the wall of the boat from the outside. From the reason that we explained that there is no kochel b'karmelis. But to throw something directly into the sea, that's forbidden. I feel so even going through a makam tour. The rishus of the comments there makam tour still is rook. In the normal circumstance, you can't throw something rishus to a comments through a makam tour. Only when the previous Sifra Mako specifically were taking water into the boat, but not anything else. But Svina Katana, the Komachito say, and go sort of tvachim. So that if a boat does not have 10 high walls, then it's not a Shusayachi, it's a Carmelist. Have a Carmelist, so Chava Arba is 4x4. With the tax of Hedge Mitoch Yama Naramayim Mutocham. That's that Chumra is a Kula. That means you can also carry directly from the sea into the boat or vice versa, because they're both Carmelists. Came with Shane Carmelist, Tafka Toch Arba Amos, but of course only within Amos, 4 Amos, because of now to carry 4 Amos in the Carmelists. Upashu, that's clear. It's simple. You bet. You have two boats, one next to the other. Also, you now have to carry from one to the other, from the one to the other, and can shuros unless they're tied to each other, or they're 10 talking higher than the water. And they have to make a common eruv. They belong to 2 different people. Nearly. Shon says what it seems to most seems to say. The Mishnah Shabbos Tan. In the Mishnah Shabbos says that if you have boats tied to each other, you can carry from one to the other. And they're not tied to each other, even though they're surrounded by some sort of barrier, I don't know, torpedo netting, whatever the case may be. You can't carry from one to the other because we're afraid the boat's going to split apart unless they're tied to each other. Maskumar in Erevu, that's we're talking about in terms of Erevu. The Shem Shurim, when they're tied together, Mahani Erevu, the Erevu is effective. But if the rope splits, then they're forbidden. The bolt Erev because Erev is nullified. The Zeuksha Sfina Enam Shal Alamacha, but that's when the Sfinas don't belong to one person. Ram Konstantin Zelian Erev Besop Hercule Erev. Ram writes this elsewhere. Ayin Sham Mashik T'Shem Shal Alamacha Ein Afkina Klabatin Say. It sounds like the both boats belong to the same shipping magnate. There's no difference to us. So this should not be here. It should be halachas of making an eruv, not these halachas of carrying at sea. So that's where I'll come say to explain that if there's one person, also now let's get from one to the other. I'm sure if they're not tied to each other. What do you mean? Tell me one Shusiyot and the both belong to the same person. The time, the reason is the Shem Yipal Chavetz Amayim, because the object might fall into the water. And Umetaltel Mishus Yoch the Carmelis, and you're going to then be coming out carrying Mishus Yoch into the Carmelis, and also bring it to you. Might bring it to you, which is to go more than 4 amos in the Carmelis. Um, and also because boats generally drift apart. And then there's going to be the airspace of Carmelis between the two of them. Also, even they belong to one person. They can't care about the other. Unless they're tied together, or they're above 10 tefachim, because they're because they're taking from one shasiyaga to another shasiyaga through a makom tur, which is okay. Then it throws in. It belongs to the people who need an erev. Then it only works and is only effective if they're tied together anyway. It says in brackets, if the rope gets 7 on Shabbos, Imar Mir Ho Vucha Hutra, we say, well, since it was Mutter Erev Shabbos, Mutter now too. Yesh Machloikas, Kamash Kazam Magan Avram is Bar Sim Shinai Dal, Psiati Dishmaya. This will be explained later. But sure, socially, Benaim Arbet even if they tie together, still can have less than 4 tvachim between the two boats. Mishmur means Machloikas Achronim, if Ramah means to forbid it, even if they both belong to two, they both belong to one person, but it's good for Arukh HaShulchan, he holds that it does.